I never got suspended. I was like a fairly good kid, I guess you could say. I just never got caught. And it wasn't until my second year of university that I failed my first class. And that just, with the belief that I was smart, having failed my first class, it just wasn't in line. It didn't make sense to me. Like, there was something wrong. As soon as I failed that, I knew that I had to do something. Pretty much all of you have failed a class, right? That's like why you're here, pretty much. How many of you have only failed one? Just one? Oh, it sucked. Who failed two? There were things I did that made me fail this class, and I very clearly knew why I failed. It wasn't because I wasn't smart, because I knew that I was. I just didn't even try. So we've all got something in common. We've all failed a class, right? It's what you choose to do with that that actually matters. So I started basically studying success. I wanted to figure out, how do you be successful? How do you pass a class? That was my thing. Like, I wanted to, because I knew it wasn't just about studying. It was like a mindset thing. I didn't just have to go and sit down and study stuff. I had to learn about how to be successful. I discovered that I had attached in my mind this belief that hard work equals pain. So I had the belief that hard work equals pain, right? And that just was not serving me. So at this event, I decided to switch it to hard work equals pleasure. That one change in belief massively shifted the course of my life. So I switched that belief, hard work equals massive pleasure. Like, I linked it like amazingly. Like, everything you could ever want is on the other side of hard work. From there, I took a summer class worth 2 credits. So it was like a double class, and I got an A+. Because I knew I was smart, and I just worked hard. I would actually read the stuff I had to read. I would put in the hours of studying. I would go to class, write the test, and get like 100%. Because it's that simple. You do the stuff, and that's it. It's all you have to do. It's so easy. The point is, you can have whatever you want if you work hard. That's literally all you have to do. You can pass this whole thing and graduate honor roll with straight A's if all you do is adopt the belief that hard work equals pleasure. That's literally all you have to do. The only thing that's going to stop you from that is not having enough pain to changing, or not having enough pleasure to wanting to move forward to it, right? You're just not associating it immediately. You're associating that working hard now is going to pay off way later. It's like why people smoke. They smoke because they don't see that they're going to die of cancer tomorrow. It's way out in the future, and they're just disassociated to it. If you believe you're hardworking, if you believe you're smart, it's going to massively affect your life as opposed to believing that you're lazy. How many of you believe right now that you are lazy? Raise your hand.
Yeah, I have goals to achieve. I don't have like the time to be lazy.
You don't have the time?
Well,
Yo,
not,
I love
I don't
that.
have the time.
I ain't got time to be lazy.
I don't have the time.
No, that's awesome.
I don't have
You don't
like
have time.
No, I don't. I don't have room for error. So,
Yeah.
and I don't have the room to be lazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a great mindset.
Yeah.
I don't have time to be lazy. I love that. Imagine for you guys if you had the belief that I don't have time to be lazy. There is a sense of urgency in your life, and you literally don't even have time to be lazy. What would that do to your life? Imagine in, we'll call it 10 years. In 10 years, where would you be if you continue with the belief that you're lazy? Just think about it right now for a minute. And then think about if I don't have time to be lazy. If that's the belief you have, if you love working hard, if you literally actually love working hard, think about where you'll be in 10 years, 10 full years of working hard. You want to become financially literate, which is basically you have to like numbers, you have to like math and accounting if you want to make money. How many of you guys want to make money? If you're not raising your hand right now, Miss Highland?
Oh, I
make
do.
money?
Sorry, I want to make money.
Yeah.
Money.
Money's good.
Money is excellent.
Money's good.
And people have limiting beliefs around money. People think if I make a lot of money, I'll be judged. Or if I make a lot of money, people won't like me. Or if I make a lot of money, I'll have a lot of problems. Having money is good. And it's not that there's this finite amount of money, and if you take some, the other people don't have any. Money is literally created out of thin air. All you need to have money is to add value to people. That's all you have to do to make money, is find a way to add value to people. Whether you go get a job and you become the most valuable employee at that job, they'll pay you the most. They'll give you a promotion. You could move your way up to the CEO. Or You become an entrepreneur, you start your own business, and you just find out how to make people's lives better, how to solve people's problems. And they'll pay you for that. Like, they will literally pay you. Now, that's kind of in the future, because right now we're still in school. We're not going to be CEO or entrepreneur, whatever. But the beliefs from right now will move forward into the future. So what you need to do is change your beliefs right now, so that when you go into the future 10 years, and you're making, I don't know, 50, 80,000 a year, whatever, 100,000, 200,000, whatever it is that you want to be making, you have to lay the foundation, right? When you build a house, you build the basement first, then you build the first floor, and then the second, and then the roof, whatever. Right now, what you guys are doing here is laying the foundation. And if your foundation sucks, your whole house is going to fall apart when it's like windy. A little hurricane comes, a little tornado, it's going to blow you right over. So you guys want to lay a solid foundation.
Then talk about your mistakes.
My mistakes?
So
My first mistake was having the belief that hard work equals pain. That is the first mistake I made. Don't make that same mistake. You have to, from right now, from today, all it is a decision. All you have to do is literally decide that I'm not going to believe that anymore. I'm going to believe that hard work is good. Hard work is going to push me to where I want to go. That's all you have to do. That's the first mistake I made. Don't make it. Hard work equals pain. That's the worst thing you can do for yourself. Your average group of friends should be equal or above, ideally above. You should be hanging out with people smarter than you. You should be hanging out with people with more money than you, who are better than you at the things you want to become good at. I talked about having a vision for my car. First, I had a vision of having the car, right? I didn't have it, and in my mind, I created this picture of a car, and then I made it happen. It's that simple. Because you always consistently got to be creating new visions. You got to always be growing. So I was like, I always wanted to have a motorcycle. And then a couple months later, I made that happen. Raising your standards is so important. I could literally talk, I don't have enough time to talk about standards. I could talk for so long about raising your standards. That's what it's all about. I have to talk about this actually. Right now, who has the bare minimum standard of 70%? Like, you're cool if you get a 70 on a test. What about a 60? Like, you're cool with the 60. Your standard is 60. If you get a 70, you're hyped. If you get 55, you're like, oh no, I'm not a 60% person. How many of you, well, your standard is not even passing. That's kind of hectic. How many of you, your standard is 50? Like, you just pass and you're good. No? Okay, so that's good. So how many 60s do we have? One man over here, 60, a couple 60s. What about 70? 80s? How many of your standard is 80? Like, if you get an 80, you're good. If it's below an 80, you're a little bit uncomfortable, you're a little bit disturbed. What about 90? Do you have any 90s in here? Sick. What about 100? How many of you are going for 100%?
Well, I think that's always the goal, but
Is it? It should be, but is it? When you go for a test, when you
Is
guys are
it?
doing that question 14, whatever, are you trying to get 100% on all of that? You should be.
I was.
Were you? Good. That's awesome. For me, like, if you aim for 80, you're gonna get 70. If you aim for 90, you're gonna get 80. If you aim for 100, if you aim to get it perfect, you might get a couple wrong, you might get like 90s. If you aim for 120, you're gonna get 100%. I remember, because I love astronomy, I think first year actually. My first year astronomy course in university, I got 100% on my midterm. Because I knew everything and so much more about everything. Like in quizzes and in tests, they always put extra stuff that wasn't on the study thing. Like, I used to hate that. They would, read chapter 6, and then the quiz was on 6, 7, and 8. And they would always blow it. For that class, I actually learned everything and so much more, and I literally got 100% because I aimed for 120. You guys, need to decide today that you're no longer going to believe hard work equals pain. You're going to have a vision for the future of when you're done working hard, what you're going to have, and keep that in mind, because that's what's going to make you do the hard work when you don't want to, right? Who's ever done a New Year's resolution? You all have. Who's actually achieved your New Year's resolution? Because most people set New Year's resolutions They look at it once on January 1st and don't look at it ever again the whole year. And then at the end of the year, you don't even remember what last year's was. So in order to keep the fire alive for your vision, which I guess is kind of the question, what you have to do is look at it as often as possible. For my car, I had a picture of my car, of my, when I wanted my Benz, I had it on my screensaver on my computer. That was my desktop background, the car. And I would look at it every single day. If I had looked at it once and never looked at it again, it wouldn't have happened. And it's gonna happen. It's inevitable. It's literally inevitable. Because if you just work hard and have the vision, you're gonna do whatever it takes to move towards that, and it's already over.
You have a lot of success and stuff? Yeah.
I would like to say
Yeah.
so.
How do you stay humble?
How do you stay humble? By not showing off, by not bragging about it. It's actually so interesting. First of all, I have to say that anyone who's ever been successful has had a coach or a mentor or a role model, right? I've had a bunch. Michael Jordan obviously had a coach. Michael Jackson had a singing coach. Mike Tyson had a boxing coach. Everyone who's ever been successful has had a mentor. I have my own success coach. I do success coaching with people, and I also have one. And we were talking about this just the other day because some people, who have millions of dollars, are still humble. Being humble versus being arrogant or cocky is just making other people feel bad for your success. If you are successful and help other people and make them feel good and empower them and donate money and do good things, like I said before, money is just a magnifier. If you're a good person and have a stupid amount of money, you're going to do really epic good things. You're going to be able to donate hundreds of millions of dollars. You have to be grateful for what you have in terms of being humble, because if you just want more, if you're never happy with what you have, then that's not being humble. You have to be grateful for what you have and have a vision for more. So I'm grateful for my Benz. I was grateful for the bus. When I took the bus, I didn't have to walk or take a bike or whatever. I didn't have to borrow rides from my friends. I had money to pay for the bus, right? Some people don't. And then I was grateful for my car, for my first little Honda Civic. It was awesome. I love that car. I still love that car. And now I'm grateful for my Benz, and I'm going to be grateful for my Maserati in the future. But you can't let the future take away from the present. You have to be grateful for what you have and still want more. You can't only want more. You can't always have the mentality I can't wait until this, can't wait until this, can't wait until I finish this class. Because then it's just going to be, I can't wait until I finish grade 11, I can't wait until I finish grade 12. And then you're going to be my age and be like, man, I wish I could go back to high school. High school is the time of your life, I'm telling you. I just want to serve. I'm here giving my time, and you guys are giving me the gift of your time. You didn't have to. You could have skipped today. I'm giving my time because I just want to add value to your lives. I want you guys to not make the same mistakes that I did. If you continue to live with hard work equals pain for another 10 years versus switching that to hard work equals pleasure, you're actually going to do it. You can't just say, oh yeah, hard work, I'm the hardest working person I know. That's the belief that I have. That's something that you guys should all adopt too. I am the hardest working person I know. That's not even about money. It's never about money. It's about how you can make people's lives better. What I do at my company, Run Your Mission, is help people find out what they want to do with their lives. How many of you know for certain what you want to do with the rest of your life? When I was in late high school, I went to my guidance counselor because I had no idea what I wanted to do. And I asked her, what should I take in university? It was trying to pick courses and stuff. And she's like, what are you good at? And for some reason, I just liked my teacher in my law class. And she's like, oh yeah, go study law. So I took criminology, fully graduated from criminology. I have a university degree in criminology, justice, and policy studies, which is not the easiest thing in the world to study. There are easier things. You don't have to know for sure. It obviously helps, but you don't have to know exactly what you want to do. On average, people change university programs 3 times. So you start in law, and then, oh no, I want to be an engineer. Oh, jokes, I want to be a makeup artist. They switch 3 different times in university. So, and that's the average. Some people switch more. Some people sometimes just wait out the whole thing. The sooner you know what you want to do, and you don't have to commit. Back in the day, you would get a job, and you'd work that job your whole life. Now there's so much change. The economy's constantly changing. There's so many more opportunities for jobs with technology and stuff. So you can study something and have a job for 10, 15, 20 years and then totally switch careers later. It's totally possible. the point of studying and right now what you're doing isn't about what you're gonna learn, because honestly, like, I don't remember what you taught me in terms of academics. I don't even remember cross multiplication. I hadn't heard of that in, who knows, a decade or something. The point is who you become in pursuit of learning. So at the end, like, if you finish that thing, who you became, the amount of growth that you had in learning that stuff, that's what's important. The skills of thinking critically, of solving problems, that's what actually matters. Because when you go to a job, when you work anywhere, you're a problem solver. You're solving people's problems, you're making people's lives better. How many of you like learning about things that you like? Okay, there we go. So you actually like learning. You just don't like learning about boring things. No one likes learning about boring things. Successful people read a book a week. How many books are you guys reading a week? Not even a week, a month. Who reads 0 books in a year? You didn't cover that a single book in the last year? Oh no.
I'm not a reader.
Not related to school.
Okay.
Outside of school,
Outside of school.
0 books. Anyone who's very successful reads a lot. And they don't just, and a lot of them read about interesting, like, literature, philosophy, or history, but a lot of them read about success. They read about other people who've been successful, autobiographies, and there's millions of books. I'm actually writing a book right now, so you can read it all when it's done next year. But they read about success and how to become successful, how to manage your money, how to help more people, how to help yourself. Again, Jim Rohn, the same guy, he said, if you work hard on your job, you can make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. Sustaining a change is all about having a strong enough reason why you must. So let's say you want to study for, or you don't want to study for math, right? But you want to become an engineer. And that's like your dream, that's your lifelong goal. You have a vision for, like, building the tallest tower in the world. You're going to pass the Burj Khalifa. That's like your vision. The Burj Khalifa, whoever, that guy saw the CN Tower, he's like, no, we can make an even bigger building. That was a vision this guy had. He's like, I'm going to make the biggest building in the world. Someone, I'm calling it right now, someone is going to build a taller building than that. It hasn't happened yet. It's in someone's mind right now. It's a vision. Someone, and who knows where it's going to be. Maybe China, Russia, maybe Canada again, maybe the US, probably the US. Who knows? Someone's going to build an even taller tower. And that, all that is vision. Now, you can have a vision, but unless you have strong enough reasons why you're committed to making that vision happen, you're not going to. That guy, I guarantee there's been lots of people who are like, oh, I want to build the tallest tower, I want to pass the CN Tower. And none of them did it, except for that one guy who was like, this is why I want to do it. And he had those reasons, and he looked at them every day. It's like what we were talking about before. If you have a vision, and you look at it once, you say one day, I want to build the tallest tower, and you never talk about it again, you don't take any action, it's never going to happen. If you make the schematic, like you draw it out and you look at that every single day, it's going to keep it alive. You want to keep the vision alive. And then having the vision, just having a vision isn't enough. Me, from the bus to my Civic, just having the vision of the Civic wasn't enough. I had reasons why I don't want to have to wake up an extra hour early and stay an extra hour later in school because it took an hour and I can drive it in half the time on the highway. I had reasons why. I don't want to be cold. I don't want to wait outside for an hour for the bus. I want to be able to get in my own car. I want to be able to listen to my own music. I want to be able to go wherever I want, whenever I want. Those reasons of why I wanted my car, I looked at those every single day, and then I made it happen, right? So in order to sustain it, it's reasons why. And anyone you ever ask will tell you that's what it is. That is like the force, human force of motivation. In order to be motivated to do something, you have to know why you want it. What do you have to believe about yourself in order to make that happen? You have to believe that you enjoy learning, that you enjoy working hard, that you're capable of doing it, because all of you are capable, obviously. You all clearly like learning. You all raise your hand. How can I make what I'm learning about enjoyable? So I know you all are smart, and I know you know that in your core. Maybe you've just kind of drifted away from that, but you know you're smart. You all know it. I don't have to tell you. You already know that. So you can frame what you're learning about to enjoy it. right? You all like the process of learning. So it's not that you don't like learning. Because when I asked the first time, only a couple of you raised your hand. You only like learning about things you like. So if you get yourself to like what you're learning about, you'll enjoy learning. So the last thing, pretty much out of time. I just winged an hour and a half. Isn't that awesome?
That
So-
is awesome.
So the last thing, which like I can honestly continue for hours, but I'm gonna leave you with this. In order to make the change in belief from hard work equals pain to hard work equals pleasure, from I'm not smart to I'm capable of learning anything I want, I'm completely, massively intelligent, those are all just beliefs that you have. And where did they even come from? Think about where they came from. Think about where the belief that you don't like working hard came from. Come back to the present moment, eyes still closed, and imagine that right now you own, I love working hard. Tell that to yourself in your head. I love working hard. I am the hardest working person that I know. Nobody works harder than me. Think about that. Tell yourself that in your mind. Like tell yourself, I'm the hardest working person I know. And think about where you'll be at the end of this course if you tell yourself that. Guarantee some of you will get 70s, 80s, 90s. All of you will pass 100% if you have that belief, if you tell yourself that. I am the hardest working person I know. I love working hard. People will ask you, how the hell are you achieving so much? How are you doing so good in school? What did you do? Then you can tell them, I just changed this one belief. Now think about when all your friends your age are applying to universities. Are you going to be going to Harvard? Are you going to be going to any university? Are you just going to, straight out of high school, pull a Mark Zuckerberg, pull a Steve Jobs, pull a Bill Gates and start your own billion-dollar empire? Because all those guys from high school just had a vision. I'm going to change the whole world with computers. And they did it. And the only way they did it was believing that they could. Believing that hard work, working their butt off, is going to pay off in the future. Mark Zuckerberg is killing it right now. He has billions of dollars. Billions. How did he do it? What did he do different than what you're capable of doing? All he did was believe that hard work would pay off. Now think about in 10 years, the first vision that we blew up last time. How is it different this time when hard work pays off? You love working hard. Hard work is just the best. Think about how different it is. That, right there, that vision is the pleasure that's going to motivate you to want to do the work today and tomorrow. That's the vision that you need to look at every single day and keep in your mind in order to get yourself to work hard. Think about what you're seeing, all the reasons why you want that. Do you have a family that now that you're 10 years older? Are you able to support them now that you have this belief that hard work pays off? What kind of car do you drive? How big is your house? How much money do you have in your bank account? Do you have $10,000 saved up? Do you have $50,000? Do you have $100,000? Do you have $1 million? Are you like Mark Zuckerberg? Do you have $1 billion? The number doesn't even matter. It's whatever speaks to you. Now, solidify that vision, really put yourself in there, and just tell yourself, thank God I switched that belief that one day in that class. Oh man, just pat yourself on the back. That vision is possible to be made real. Like, you can make that happen, and all you have to do, starting right now, is just tell yourself, I love working hard. I literally love working hard. What are your hobbies? I like playing sports, I like playing video games, and I like working hard. That's literally one of your hobbies now. That is something that's going to rub off on other people. People are going to look at you and be like, man, like, how do you do it? And you can now bring them up and tell them, listen, all you got to do is stop being lazy. I'm allergic to lazy. I don't have time to be lazy. I'm addicted to working hard. That's going to totally change your lives. Thank you guys all for giving me your time. Really appreciate it. And I actually have some gifts for you guys. I brought a bunch of these if you want one in my backpack. They just say Run Your Mission on them, which is my company. It's a reminder every day to work your butt off. And I also do some coaching, so if you guys might be interested, you can ask Miss Highland. And I think that's it. We're on lunch now, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.